Apple CEO Tim Cook is in China. Is the iPhone finally coming to the world's largest mobile carrier? Spencer Ante joins us now. Spencer, Tim Cook was meeting with the CEO of China Mobile today.
Yes.
And this is key. How come?
Yeah, so I would say that China Mobile, which is the biggest phone carrier in China and the biggest phone carrier in the world, it has 700 million subscribers. It's more than twice the US population alone in one carrier. It is the single largest carrier opportunity left for Apple to capture. There's been numerous rumors and speculation about Apple cutting a deal with China Mobile. This meeting, which took place at the company's Beijing headquarters, is concrete proof that these two companies are getting closer together, but they wouldn't discuss details of the discussions, and there is no official deal yet.
Now, a lot of people have been anticipating this because, for instance, the iPhone 5, when it came out, everyone noticed that the chip, the radio chip that talks to mobile networks,
Yes.
was finally the first version of the phone that was compatible with the particular flavor of, we'll call it 3G, that China Mobile actually uses.
Yeah.
So this is the first phone they could actually officially
Yeah, that's
have
a
on the
good
network.
point to make, because there's several technological roadblocks that remain before this deal could come to fruition. That's one of them. China Mobile executives have said that the iPhone would likely come only after the company introduces its 4G platform, which is a little bit further down the road. Most people who use China Mobile are still on 2G. China is in the early stages of going to 3G technology.
And there's actually a ton of iPhone users on China Mobile. They've jailbroken the phone.
Yes.
Millions of them, correct?
Yes, we've seen that with T-Mobile in the U.S. too. T-Mobile has a deal with Apple now, but until then, people would bring their phones to iPhones to T-Mobile and get them to work with their network.
Now, let's talk about a little bit about the actual size of the opportunity for Apple. Now, you mentioned 700 million subscribers.
Yep.
Only a fraction of those, however, are the high-value subscribers that we'll say could afford a $650, the wholesale price of an iPhone, $650.
Yeah.
How many of those, I should say, how many of those roughly are actually in the market for a high-end iPhone?
Actually, I don't know that number, and I don't want to make one up, but I know it's a fraction of the 700 million. The other issue
I've seen anywhere from 60 to 120.
Yeah, I've heard that. That seems like it's in the range. But it raises a bigger point about Apple, which is that, it's in an intense battle with the Android ecosystem for market share, and that's been going back and forth. Android has been recently sort of taking over from Apple in terms of global market share. And one of the main reasons is that Apple does not have an emerging market strategy, okay? Android
doesn't have a cheap phone.
I.e. a cheap phone, right? So Android, one of the things that's amazing about Android is it goes from the really high end to kind of the low end. So they have really expensive high end devices that cost $600 or so, and they have really cheap ones that cost like under $50. Apple, we recently reported. A story by Jessica Lesson said that Apple is working on making a cheaper iPhone. So I think there's a good reason to think that this cheaper iPhone may be a good fit with emerging markets like China, and this could be one way
into the Apple
to
ecosystem.
Expand the size of the market opportunity for Apple.
The average revenue, this is a fascinating stat, the average revenue per user, according to Strategy Analytics, for China, $10 a month. The US, almost $50 a month. So of course,
it's a scale game in China.
Yeah, definitely. Spencer Ante, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.